I'm super excited. Today's going to be kind of a big deal. First of all, if you're out there and you are watching, please drop a note, say hi. I'm so excited to bring on a special guest. My husband, Bert Hicks. Ready, Bert?
Sure.
All right. There we go. The dynamic duo. Sorry, you know what? Let me fix something really quick. I just noticed it's kind of mean of me. I gotta do this right. All right, we got some viewers. There we go. Did we fix that? There we go. Fixed my name for you, Bert.
Oh, well,
See?
I mean, you want to put your legal name up there, or
it's it's now YouTube official.
I think that's legally official then, right?
Exactly. Oh gosh, guys, this is fun. So I've actually lined up a bunch of questions for Bert, so we can get to know his side of what's been going on. Because obviously you've heard nothing but my side. Let's find out what it's like to be in a partner's shoes. Bert's my very first guest ever on the show, so of course there's going to be some new things to work through.
And then guess what?
What's up, babe?
Well, in Michelle Obama's podcast, Barack was her first guest, so I think this is a good sign.
Aw. Well, to have you compare me to Michelle Obama, that is quite a compliment. Thank you very much.
Well, yeah, we'll go with that.
All right. Also, I think when Dax Shepard first started his podcast, he had Kristen Bell on as his one
Yeah,
of
I
his
think you're
first
right
guests,
as well.
which is so cute.
Yeah.
I freaking love them. Guys, it is an awesome episode today because we've got Bert on as my very first ever Baby Talk guest. We're getting there. Here we go. Got Spark saying, ooh la la, 2 Hickses. Thanks, Spark. Thanks for tuning in again, bud. Super cool. We got Mom, Dad, Kelly watching today as well. Hi, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Got a couple other people out there as well, so feel free to say hi. Let us know you're watching. If you don't want me to put your comment up there, I won't. Don't worry about it. I mean, I don't know how I'll know that you don't want me to, so actually do.
I was going
worry
to
about
ask
it.
you that too, yeah.
I don't know, yeah. But thanks, Mom, for the feedback on the sound. I'm glad it sounds good to you guys. All right, let's dive into this interview, Bert.
All right.
You're the partner, and Fridays are for partners and supporters of people going through these journeys. But that is definitely not to dismiss your journey itself in all of this. How you feeling, babe? You weren't feeling so good this morning. How are you feeling now?
I'm doing all right. Played with Joe the cat a little bit, and that raised my spirits a little bit, so. So,
And
yeah.
you were feeling a little blue, right? A little blue and a little bit under the weather at the same time.
Yeah, a little bit.
Did you end up taking a half day at work today? Are you done for the afternoon?
No, I'm not done for the afternoon yet. I figured I'll take a few hours this afternoon and, maybe sign off at like 2 or something like that, or 3.
Okay. Take a little time to
Just
yourself.
relax.
I'll
Yeah.
still be working at that time, but
You're always working.
I know. I got a lot of projects still. I still have to edit the IUI video. I know. You're mad at me for not doing that.
I'm not mad at you. I'm just encouraging you to finish.
Thank you, babe. That's why you're my rock. Keep pushing me along. So we're going through kind of a big thing right now. How are you feeling about the 2-week wait?
It's a little nervousness, a little excitedness, a little bit of both. It's hard to believe it's only been 6 days since that all went down. So it's, yeah, just kind of waiting. I think 2-week wait is the exact way to put it.
Is it on your mind a lot, or is it just something that's like, oh, it's not a distraction at all? You're just kind of going through it.
Oh, no, it's definitely in my mind. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a distraction, but it is something that I think about often.
Gotcha. And then, are you mentally prepared for it to go either way? Do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I guess I don't know. This is, every month we've kind of gone through something similar. This feels, I don't know if the right word is more real, but more real. I think it's just, yeah, brutal, I think is the right way to put it. It's just kind of sitting around waiting, because there's nothing else I can do, right? Like all I can do is try to help you out and keep you healthy and hope for the best.
Oh, this is a good. Kelly's saying that they went on a vacation during one of theirs. That's not a bad idea. Why didn't we plan that out?
We have to focus on a few other things, and there's some stuff going on in the world that it just makes it a little bit more difficult.
It's true. But you know what? We've rearranged our house and now we have our living room upstairs and it's really cozy and warm in there. And I just kind of really look forward to every night just hanging out with you, even though sometimes I'm still working. But I really look forward to that, like that time. And to me,
Well,
that kind of feels like vacation because it is relaxing. So I
well,
don't
and
know.
you have, it's all inclusive, right? I mean, you get cocoa and tea and popcorn brought to you every night.
You you do that every night. But I take the dishes down every morning. So
That's true. That's true.
yeah, you carry them up, I bring them down. We are a good pair for that.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I'm mentally prepared for next Saturday. I have no idea like, yet. I haven't even processed like how I'm gonna be if it's a no, if it's a negative. I don't even know how I'm gonna be
But,
when it's a positive. But I don't know. I don't know if I should prepare or just let it happen.
right, exactly. Plus, it being Valentine's Day, it's like adds a whole another level to it.
That's true. So something that you and I did while we've been trying for the past 2 years was when we quit drinking alcohol in an attempt to be healthier, have healthier bodies for all this. What we would do is just have a bottle of wine, and we would do sushi night if I got my period. So basically, I would have something to look forward to if I had my period. Be like, all right, well, let's have a couple glasses of wine and some sushi because you're not supposed to have sushi when you're pregnant. So that was like, at least there's a payoff with the bad. Kind of helped. Yeah. And I'm sure Bert looked forward to that as much as I did. But
Well,
you don't look forward to it,
it's
but
right? It's bittersweet, right?
yeah, exactly. And when we first started trying 2 years ago, did you have any idea, Bert, that it would take this long? And what were some benchmarks that stick out in your head from our journey so far?
Uh, Honestly, no, it would take this long. I obviously hoped that it wouldn't take this long too. So yeah, I mean, as far as benchmarks go, I would say our first actual going in and getting tested, whether it was me going in and do the semen analysis or you going in to see your doctors, I feel like that's when it became a little bit more real. Um, it was more just planning out our based around things that are going on with you. So I was again just kind of a passenger for a long time, I think.
Yeah, I think that's kind of an important thing. Is so, and I'm going to back up here because there was a question about the 2 week wait and if it can shift a day or two. So yeah, it actually, I think you can test positive at as early as day 12 or 13. But we're waiting a full 2 weeks just if we get a positive, we know for sure. Because sometimes a false positive could just be still remaining from the trigger shot that we took before the IUI procedure. So Kelly said she got a positive test at day 13. I've heard that before. So yeah, it's just the way our clinic did it is they scheduled it to be 2 full weeks.
Question about that actually,
Yeah.
since I don't think I've ever actually asked. So it's a blood test, correct?
Yep.
And then how long of a wait is it? Like,
I
are we
know.
waiting another like 4 days after that, or do you know?
I think that they call because that's how it normally is when they do blood work for me, but I don't know. I don't know. But
Right.
I would assume like they would call so that we both hear it at the same time. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now I don't know. Maybe they'll ask me when I'm there, and then what do you want to find out at the same time, Bert, or do you want me to tell you?
Ooh, that's a tough question.
It's maybe we
I mean,
should
I
think
guess we
about
should
it.
find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we should find out at the same time. But if you want to find out and surprise me, that works too.
I know in the past I always like whenever I did like was late on my period for like one day or if I was getting closer thinking I had symptoms like oh this could be the month and I peed on a stick and in those 2 minutes when you're waiting for or the 3 minutes whatever it is for the pregnancy test to work its thing you're thinking about like okay what am I going to do if this happens I loved having fantasies of how I would tell you. Like that was one of my favorite parts. Like maybe I'd make a nice dinner and, I don't know. I just know that it would be an emotional moment and I know it would be really special for us. But yeah, going through this and knowing when we're testing, it takes a little bit of that out of there. So I think what we should do is just plan for next Saturday to be special no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely. I was already looking at dinner recipes, so.
Aw. You've been doing so awesome with the cooking, babe. I love that you are doing this. You are my rock star cook. I love it. Thank you.
Well, I've stopped burning things, so that helps.
You've gotten better and better, and I love that you are taking our health like so seriously and you're building our menu around the Mediterranean diet. It's awesome. And then on Saturdays you do stuff from the New York Times cooking, which has yet not been, we have not yet once had a bad recipe from that, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
It also is because you're good at following the instructions or the recipes.
Following recipes is easy.
Well, not for everybody. Not for everybody. Oh, we got a new viewer here. Hi, Lauren. Thanks for popping by to say hi. Love having you around. All right, guys. So, Bert, where did we leave off? Oh,
I
think we were talking about
the benchmarks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So then there was a point where you kind of surprised me one day. You were like, oh, yeah, I'm in a Facebook group for men that are going through this. Talk about that a little bit, because how did you even think to look that up?
You talked about your groups and all the support that people give, and I was like, well, the least I can do is follow a Facebook group, and see what they talk about. And they've been extremely supportive. I've not posted in there yet, but I've seen the support that people give and get, and it's fantastic to see. And it kind of it adds to the whole point of what you're doing, is that we're not alone. Like, there are a lot of people out there doing this, a high percentage of people, and a lot of people just don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So I think it just kind of helped bring it full circle for me.
How come you haven't posted anything yet? Is there just not been anything you're curious about with the other men?
Yeah, I've been reading through the posts, and a lot of them are, just people saying what they're going through, and it seems like they're going through. Some people are going through some tougher things than us, and one guy posted about going through IVF for 2 years, and it just seems like our process is still so new, IUI and IVF. So it just kind of seems like I don't want to put something out there and then be like, oh, well, that's not that bad. Yeah. Or just, I don't want to seem insensitive either.
You know what? Don't compare your journey to other people's journeys at all. Just because someone's journey is tougher than yours does not make yours any less significant. That's super important to remember. So I think that you and I have a pretty open dialogue about a lot of this stuff. And this is true too. Yeah, some people just like reading them and it helps them. I actually just talked about this with our emo fitness group, is I think some of the posts people read and it just makes them feel better. They don't necessarily have to post their own accounts of it. So thanks, Kelly. Yeah,
that's a great point.
That is a really good point. Absolutely. And also we have Amanda LeMay watching. Hey, Amanda, thanks for stopping by. She's got a little one. That's one of Bert's old soccer friends. College friends? High school friends.
High school, yeah.
Not Amanda, but Lemon is all I know him by. Chris.
Yeah, his actual name is Chris, but he is Lemon.
Which is, his last name is LeMay, which is why they call him Lemon. So anyway, thanks for popping by. Yeah, well, and then another thing you did, Bert, was at some point you got some books, and I don't think that I told you to do that or anything like that. Do you remember getting those books and what prompted it?
I don't know that I've gotten any fertility books.
Oh yeah, you got.
I had talked about. I said I had marked some about becoming a dad book. So when you're expecting kind of stuff. I have not actually purchased them because it would seem silly to get ahead of myself.
Well, you did. I do know you did actually get at least one book that was like what to expect type of books. It's sitting over by you. Right, and just so you guys to paint this picture right now, like I'm downstairs on our first floor in our house right now, and Bert's upstairs, like literally, I don't know, if like we had a 10-foot rope that could go through the ceiling, we'd be able to connect it. So he's up in
Oh,
his
I think I
office,
know.
and I'm here.
Is it Rules for the Unborn Son? Is that the one you're talking
Oh,
about? I think that's what
maybe,
you're thinking of, and
maybe that's
that's
what
like
I'm
a
thinking.
gag book.
Oh, okay. I thought
Like
that you
that
had
that
gotten
was
the
left
book.
here during one of our white elephants.
Okay. For some reason I thought you had gotten a book at some point, but that's okay too. But
Mm.
it's good
Yeah,
you have some in your library that your shopping
I'm
cart that
ready for.
you're gonna get. Yeah. Um, what else? And then okay. So then at some point in our journey, we really kind of shifted our mindset, when we realized that this was not as easy as we thought it would be, right?
Hmm.
Talk about your experience of that because I know my experience of it, but I want to know how you tell this story.
Uh, like as far as what goes, I guess.
I don't know, like just take this however you want to, as far as our overall health, whether that be. I'll just leave it there. I'm curious just to see where you take this.
Okay. Well, I think at the beginning of 2020, with COVID and lockdown and all that stuff, uh, our drinking drinking and smoking took a turn for the worse, I would say.
Yeah.
Both went up in frequency and amounts. And I think it kind of just hit us or hit you really specifically one day. And you're like, we need to figure this out and cut it out.
Hmm.
So I stopped buying beer, or at least keeping it upstairs. I kept it in the basement where it would be a task to go get. And same thing with the weed. We put it up in the attic, so it was like, all right, well, if we really wanted to do this, it's a thought process of having to walk upstairs, pull down the attic lighter, go up into the attic, grab it, come back down, and go through that process.
Yeah.
So I think that was kind of where the limit happened, or where kind of we stopped. And that was right after we got back from Colorado. It was just, we talked about it there, and it was just like, all right, yeah, when we get back, it's, everything is put to the side, our only focus now.
Right. And then it kind of worked out too with all this when the gym closed, or when we couldn't work out in person at the gym that I coach at. I had to start doing it
Hmm.
virtually, and you jumped right on to that. Like I was super
Well,
impressed, and you always said, "Go
the,
ahead."
the very first day you did it at home,
Okay.
you came up, you're like, you're coming down, right? And I was like, oh, damn it. It would be so lazy of me to be like, no, I'm not going to work out when it's, like you said, 10 feet from my bed.
Yeah.
I'm laying in bed and listening to you work out. That would be pretty lazy on my part. Uh, and I'd feel pretty guilty, I wouldn't lie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that really, also helped us kind of move in the right direction as well.
Yeah. And we feel great. Like you've said a few times along the way, like how even though like giving up alcohol and smoking kind of sucked, it really sucked at first.
Hmm.
We actually feel better. Like I feel more energetic during the day, and now it's kind of like, man, if I have half a bottle of wine, or split a bottle of wine with you, I know in the morning I'm not going to feel great. And I kind of
Yeah.
like, which one do I want? Feel drunk for a few hours, or feel shitty, feel shitty tomorrow, or just feel awesome in the
Yeah.
morning? Yeah. Uh, Got some support here. Love when Bert joins the workouts. Well, it's not even OTG anymore. Now he's just regularly working out with the group, Lauren. So if you love Bert, then you love working out with us. Uh, Lauren worked out with us this morning. It was great to have her back. It was awesome.
Hmm.
Yeah. So getting healthy has been really good. And then, if you don't mind, can I mention like how we kind of saw that reflected in your sperm tests?
Sure.
So you did an at-home test on semen
Which was really
analysis.
just numbers. Like it was just how many.
Yeah, it was the three basics: motility, morphology, and sperm count.
Okay.
And and one of the numbers I think was, I don't even know was right because it looked like a very weird number. And
Hmm.
oh, maybe now thinking back on it, maybe it wasn't that weird. Anyway,
It said I was average
it
or
was
middle of the
average,
road. Yeah.
right? And
It
so
didn't
we were
give
kind of,
exacts.
yeah, and we kind of figured, okay, so that's not the problem, because we were just trying to figure out what was causing the issue for us, our infertility. And then when we went to the fertility clinic, Bert did another semen analysis, and the results came back.
I
What?
went to a urologist first. I had my primary care recommended me to a urologist, I went and did that one there, and that's where those results said everything looked great, except it wasn't very detailed. It wasn't as detailed as the fertility clinics.
Got it. And that urologist, we kind of touched on this last Friday when we were talking about male factor infertility. And those doctors are called andrologists. Those are the equivalent of like a gynecologist, but for men. So if you guys are on your own journey and curious, an andrologist, they do exist. And actually, we saw a webinar earlier this week. Bert and I watched it. It's actually a partner, or I don't know what the connection is between our fertility doctor and then this andrologist. And it was really interesting. And he's in Chicago, and it was really cool. The coolest question is like people said, one of the questions was, why do you do this? Like analyze semen and help men with their, fertility. And he said, honestly, the best part is hearing the success stories when it works. Anyway, the doctors are out there and available, and I think it's just kind of one of those things you don't hear about. Even when we went to the fertility doctor, he didn't say, "Hey, go see an andrologist." It was really just, "Here, do the semen analysis, and hey, do you exercise? Do you eat healthy? And what's your alcohol and drug habits?" And that's all they did for Bert, was kind of those screening questions. And like maybe there was like, is there a history of any sort of health issues in your family or anything like
Something
that?
like that, yeah.
So just know, guys, if you're on your own journey, that male factor infertility is a big deal, and sometimes those causes are not discovered until you go to an andrologist. So then Bert then you did one more. Well, wait, did you do one more then when we went to the fertility clinic? That was more detailed?
Did one at the fertility. No, I did one at the fertility clinic that was more detailed. That's where we found out some of the potential issues. Yeah.
Right. Do you mind if I say what that was?
No, go ahead.
So that was the morphology, right?
Right.
So his sperm count was fine. The motility was fine. So motility is their movement. Sperm count's obvious. But morphology is like when they're not quite shaped right. Like they have like maybe a dented head or something like that. So there was just a little bit more of a higher number of or lower count. The abnormality count was not where it should be for the morphology.
Yeah, higher than average.
Thank you. Yeah. So then when we went for our IUI procedure, because when did you do that semen analysis, Bert?
Oh, it was in the fall.
Yeah, it was because we went to the doctor in October, so that probably would have been in October or November, right?
Yeah, I think it would have been either late October or early November,
Yeah.
because I had to time it with you and your cycles.
Okay.
I thought, or maybe
No.
because then I had to go back and get blood drawn. I don't remember exactly, but it was in that area.
Right. And they did blood work on Bert as well, so that was also part of like the deeper dive into it. It wasn't just the semen analysis. So, then when we did the IUI procedure, so the cool thing is when Bert gives the sperm or the semen sample.
Product.
They test it at that time, so what they do is they wash it, which means they have it in a vial, and all the good sperm kind of swim up to the top, and those are the ones that they take and they put under a microscope, and they can do that test really quick there in that 1 hour wait between when Bert gives his sample and they put it in me. The nurse there, she actually shared with us the numbers, and they were awesome. They were so good compared to what they were just 2 months ago. And what we learned the other night was the men's semen cycle or sperm cycle or whatever actually is like 6 months. So this kind of makes sense because we stopped using alcohol and weed about 6 months ago. This kind of all makes tons of sense and is really good timing. So guys, we're living, breathing story of, healthy lifestyle changes do kind of make an impact, even if it's delayed. So if you're thinking about having kids, maybe start thinking about switching those brewskis out with kombuchas. That's what I switch them out. All right, babe. Are we having fun?
Yeah.
Am I talking too much? I probably am.
No, I don't think so.
All right, thanks.
You're the host.
Yeah, but you're my guest, and people have heard enough of me. So now that we've gone through this, Bert, is there anything you would have done different, knowing what you know now, and like back when we first started? Like advice to other people that might be starting theirs?
I think I would have started the healthier lifestyle earlier. Um, I think our first year while we were trying, we weren't doing everything that we could. And I think after that first year, it should have been a sign, and we should have, hindsight, whatever you want to call it. Maybe we should have gone in and seen people sooner, seen doctors sooner, got tests done sooner. But we really wanted to give it a shot naturally. So
Yeah.
I think just a little bit, cut back on things. If you can't quit right away, just cut back a little bit, and it clearly helps a lot. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I remember, Kelly, if you're still watching, you guys kind of experienced something similar when you guys were trying. And I know that you guys had to go through some health changes. If you drop a comment, if you have anything along those lines. Bert, during the last 2 years, how do you feel about me? Has our relationship changed?
You want to do this online live? All right, fine. No, I was thinking about that actually the other day before you ever talked about me coming on, and I feel like our
Oh,
communication, our communication and our relationship has gotten better. Um, I think obviously a lot of challenges come with COVID and with us trying at the same time and lockdown and not being able to do our normal stuff. Not having our own soccer leagues, not playing soccer at all or any sports. I think that can really wear on a relationship, especially if you're stuck in the same house or the same apartment or something like that with somebody.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, so I think we benefited from actually going through this because I think it brought us closer together. I think we're in something together. So yeah, but yeah, I really do think that our relationship has improved over the last 6 months to a year. I think we're going in the right direction at least.
yeah, yeah. We
Yeah.
don't- we haven't killed each other during the pandemic, and
Well, luckily we have space.
that's true.
We can be 10 feet apart, but really be a set of stairs and a hallway or two out of the way.
Yeah, yes, and yeah, I gotta say, I'm very proud of us. I think that there were some tough times, Oh, we have someone that's given us an awe here. I think that's Emily, which is so cute. Oh, and then Kelly brought up some good points too of when they were starting to go through all their IUI, and they eliminated chemicals in the house. And that's a great point, is like, yeah, there's so many toxins that we don't really think about that actually affect our reproductive health, both for the male and female. So that's a good one. And then Kelly also started vitamins, which is a great point. Bert, you didn't mention that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so at some point you had figured out to do vitamins.
Yes.
How did you figure that out? Because I don't think I told you to.
No, I just figured it can't hurt. Whether it's just my general health or my health going towards us having a baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you didn't just take a regular multivitamin though. You actually went the extra step and searched for one that was good for male.
Yeah, it's
Male.
specifically for male fertility. So it's got like 1,000% of your daily vitamin D. It's got CE. It's got all the stuff that you're supposed to have to help improve chances and sperm quality. So
That's awesome. Do you happen to remember when you started taking that?
it would have been in the summer. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, sometime I don't remember exactly.
So yeah, so it stands true. About 6 months before you start to see these changes really
Yeah.
take place. Um, I've got to kind of, just jump onto what Bert was saying, like with us being close, and with this whole thing in particular, starting this fertility show and sharing our journey. Like, I did all of this with the support of Bert and having a lot of conversations about, is it okay to share this? Is he comfortable with it? Because it's not, I don't want to, just put it all out there. And he's going, what the hell? You didn't even ask me. This is my baby too. And I'm sure we're going to have lots of talks about how much we want to kind of, show our baby. There's some privacy around that and everything. So we'll have to continue having those talks about how public we're being about everything. But Bert has been extremely supportive during this whole thing, and and there's been days, I think I mentioned this earlier on that after it all started, I'm like, I don't know if I can actually do this. I don't know what I started. I think maybe I'm just gonna tell everyone, whoops, I'm not really doing this. He's like, nope, you're doing this. And I thought he was just being supportive, like, nope, you've started something amazing, you got to do it. He's like, nope, you spent a lot of money on that camera and the computer, so you need to follow through on this. We invested in this little project of yours, but
Yeah, this isn't fixing jewelry, is it?
no, it's not. Yeah, taking your old jewelry and just making it into new jewelry as a hobby. This is something a little bit bigger. Yeah, but thank you, babe. Your support. I know I tell you all the time, but I freaking love you for it. You're awesome. Bert's like one of the best men I've ever met that is like extremely like empowering to women, and it's not just me, it's also the people that he's worked with, have also said stuff like this. So I feel extremely lucky. Another awesome person popping by to say hi. Hi, Lauren. Lauren, sorry your name's not popping up in here. It's like a little snafu that we're having, but I will get that fixed. But thanks for stopping by and watching. Yeah, a lot of viewers, Bert. People are
Yeah.
catching us on the Facebook and on the YouTube today. This is really cool.
I may have shared it on my Facebook too.
Aw, babe. That's awesome. So it's not all just rainbows and unicorns over here. What have been the tough parts about this journey so far for you?
I mean, once a month, right? For the last 2 years.
Yeah. And some
Yeah.
months tougher than others.
Yes. Yeah. There are some months. I mean, and we're a little bit more hopeful, and who knows why that is? It could just be we're positive that month, or had a good experience that month, or well, one thing or another. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, everything comes up no. It's a little defeating.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a month I remember like really crying, and I think you were crying too. And it was like that broke my heart too because I knew it wasn't just like you watching me. It was like we're in this together, and that was a big moment for me, and it was a part that I didn't want to repeat again. Like I hate like seeing you cry, like unless it's happy cry, you know. I want to make you cry when we are pregnant, of course. I expect that. But
You want to make me cry?
yeah,
That sounds bad. You want to
happy
make me
tears,
cry?
happy
Yeah,
tears.
happy tears.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Was switching, when I made okay, I remember the day I got out of the doctor's office and I was like, she's like, you should go and see a specialist at this point. It was my regular gynecologist. She's like, it's time. You've been trying so long. You need to go and do this. And you also need to stop drinking. And I remember as I left the doctor's office that day, I got on the phone and I said, Bert, that's it. We are not drinking anymore. Do you remember that?
No, I blacked that part out.
And I think you were just like, oh, okay. Yeah, you're like, we'll do it, whatever you say, babe. But I think you knew I was serious at that point. So hoping that all this goes well, right? Next week, hopefully we get the good news. And if it doesn't happen next month or this month, it'll happen next month and not then IVF is the next step after that. But assuming we get pregnant, have you thought about the pregnancy part yet? Like, have you thought about what your biggest concerns are? Or are you not
I
there
guess I
yet?
haven't thought in detail about it. I have been having baby dreams lately. Yeah, I had one last night.
You had a baby dream?
Yeah, we had a little boy, and he said, "Dad," but he was like an infant, so it didn't really, it was like a dream. Like it didn't quite make sense,
No.
but yeah,
That's so cool, babe.
yeah,
Aw.
yeah. But no, I haven't. Obviously, your life changes, but I think it'll only be for the better. I mean, the changes we've gone through on this process or down this road have been positive ones. So I say that now, not having a kid, and I'm sure every person who has a kid right now is laughing at me, but that's all right.
So Spark is asking if we've picked out names yet. I think it's a little early for that. Oh man.
Maybe middle names, but not first names.
Middle names, really.
Well, I've thought about it.
Well, what have you thought about?
Well, if it's a boy, Stephen or Andrew. which was my dad's middle name.
All right. Yeah.
If it was a girl, Margaret, after my grandma.
I like
Those,
that.
those all, yeah.
This is the first time hearing any of this.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I figured I had to bring something to the table for this show. Uh,
Amanda says Annabelle's favorite word is data, and she's obsessed with Chris. I mean lemon, lol.
yeah, who's Chris? Sorry, Amanda, I don't know
I
who
don't
that
know who
is.
Chris is. So yeah, maybe.
Yeah. But no, we haven't discussed names, the actual names yet.
Spark has suggestions. Of course he
Oh,
does.
we're open to suggestions, Spark.
Are we?
I mean, I'm always open to suggestions. You don't have to take the suggestions. That's why there's suggestions.
I gotcha. Kelly says a lot of people pick out names early, and that
Yeah.
it doesn't hurt to brainstorm.
I mean, we might as well talk about it at the very least.
We have a friend on, Chris Goodman. Hello, thanks for watching.
Oh, that's Christy's neighbor.
Oh, Chris, hey, what's up? You never came back the other day when we were visiting. We were expecting you to stop by on Saturday night. Thanks for watching.
We had to come back and try to steal Jeremy's phone again.
That was funny. He picked up Jeremy's phone thinking it was his, and then Jeremy's like, "Where's my phone?" And then Christy called it, and all of a sudden Chris is like, "Well, Christy, why are you calling me?" Anyway, I guess he had to be there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. All right. Well, and then Bert, I guess when all this is done, we have a baby. What are you most excited about?
Seeing it grow up, you know, get its first pair of soccer cleats,
Yes.
maybe a hockey stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, or a book, you know, reading to the baby, you know, at night, and
Yeah.
I don't know. That stuff sounds like fun. Again, preschool kids are laughing at me, but I'm excited for the challenge and up for it.
Yeah. I think a lot about like all the decisions you have to make as a parent, like screen time and bedtime and how strict you are and discipline and stuff like that. Like I am so scared I'm gonna only want to be good cop and you're gonna have to be bad cop all the time.
I very much doubt that's going to be the case.
Lauren's like, what is soccer? I don't remember. I know.
I know, I miss it so much.
But
Just
yeah.
watching it makes me sad. You know?
Kelly said she has sambas in all the sizes, so as long as they don't have another little one at the same time as us, then we can have those little shoes. That'll be a lot of fun.
Going for number 3? Wow.
I don't think they've decided, but you just never know. I wanted
Yeah.
so bad, like a year ago when we were like really focusing in on this, and I knew that Kelly was also trying for her second. I'm like, please get pregnant at the same time, please, 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 please. And so like every month, like when she told me she was pregnant, and I'm like, okay, all I have to do is this cycle, just it's got to be. And then I'm like, okay, well I could be 1 month behind, and then like by the end of the 9 months, I'm like, I just want our pregnancies to overlap by just a tiny little bit. I'm like, please get pregnant before this kid's born. It didn't ever happen, so. It's okay. They'll be close enough in age, hopefully, that they'll be good cousins. Yeah, and I can't wait to see Charlie and Wyatt as cousins too. Oh, they're gonna be so cute.
Oh, yeah.
Family get-togethers are gonna be a lot different with kids. They've been so adult for so long. Well, babe, thank you so much for being on the show. Is there anything else that you wanted to say, like that I didn't grill you on?
Oh, you didn't grill me on anything. No, I think what you're doing is great, and I really hope, even if it only helps one person, that's still helping one person. So
Yeah. I think you got a really supportive message from a friend too. I get tons of messages, but even you got one, which was really cool.
oh yeah, that was nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think even just knowing that, like, it helps a lot. Like knowing that we're sharing all this helps. It's really nice. So
Absolutely.
thank you everybody for watching us and for supporting our journey and for supporting the next people that I'll be having on the show too, because the more that I've worked on Baby Talk this week, the more I've really kind of like started to form what the goals are of it and everything, and I'm really excited. So on Monday, Kelly's going to be on our show. We're going to be talking about Norwex and putting clean products into your home to get rid of those toxins and also just to also help with like cutting down on waste, right? Like so much stuff we throw away, and there's reusable products out there that we can use. So I'm really excited to have Kelly on the show. And then next Wednesday, I'm having Laura Murphy on my show, and her partner are just about 37 and a half or 38 weeks pregnant. So she's going to talk about their journey, getting pregnant and what that was like, going through it as a same-sex couple. And then she works out like crazy. She's like CrossFit. I'm not sure if she's a coach or if she just does it, but she posted a video the other day with a big old belly, raising some heavy old weights. And so we're going to talk to her about how she found out that it was okay to work out, and hopefully give us a little bit of advice for people that are, currently getting ready to have the pregnancy, and if you are pregnant and curious about working out and stuff. So hopefully answer those questions for you. So awesome.
I'm not going to do your burpees, by the way.
You're not going to do the burpees when I'm pregnant?
Well, because you can't do burpees when you're pregnant. I'm not going to do your burpees for you.
Oh, well, we'll have to have a separate discussion about that because I have a different point of view.
We'll take that offline.
All right. And then Lauren, yes, Lauren's also going to be, Lauren, I'm going to line you up as well. I want to follow up with you and make sure that you're ready to go. Just to give you guys a sneak peek, Lauren runs support groups, and specifically around fertility, pregnancy, and postpartum. And she's setting these up, and they're small group size, and they're led by a certified therapist, her. And so if you are, struggling with your journey or just need some extra support, these groups are going to be out there, and it's covered by insurance and everything. She's going to talk about what it's like to be in those groups. And on top of that, Lauren's also a photographer that specializes, and I believe if she calls it bump to baby, and she put out a book showing this, and does live birth photography. She does a lot of pregnancy photos and stuff, and she's gonna be doing mine, and I can't wait for this. So Lauren's incredible. That's gonna be a very special guest to have on the show. So I'm so pumped. I am lining people up and starting to network with other groups to kind of get us out there, and even Spark is also an awesome friend. He was the DJ at our wedding, one of our broomball teammates, just a good friend. He does actually a bunch of live streaming too, and Spark is saying we should be on CFB, which I think is that the roast what's CFB? Yeah, CFB, I'm not thinking of it at the top of my head, but Spark does Twitch streaming, and he has a comedy show. He's doing a whole bunch in the digital space just like this. It's really cool. Very talented guy, a lot of laughs, love it. Kelly's vouching for Lauren and how amazing she does. She's done all of Kelly's photos. I love the support in the community we're growing, guys. This is so very, very cool. All right, cool. So I've pumped you up for the upcoming weeks. Hopefully I'll be having a calendar of all these guests so that you can kind of look ahead and make sure that you don't miss the episodes that you want to see, and especially if it's something that you want to hear about. Keep giving me feedback on what you're loving. Tell me what you want to hear. Oh, Cookies for Breakfast. Right, of course. Cookies for Breakfast is Spark's podcast. He actually has a podcast too, so that's not even live streaming. But yeah, we could be guests on his podcast. It would be awesome. So cool.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Spark, count us in. We'll line it up. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. Have a great weekend. And this weekend, I promise you, I will put out the video. That'll be my third edited video on the YouTube channel that will tell you and show you our journey with the IUI procedure, everything from all the appointments at the doctor's office. I actually recorded them there. And then I'll string them all together and give you all the good stuff, and you'll see things you never thought you'd see before. Awesome. Babe, let's do something really cute.
But not everything.
No, you don't. Well, Bert, just let them think they're going to see something like that, and then they'll watch it. We need some like. Hey, guys, if you haven't liked this video yet, please like it right now. And if you aren't subscribed, please subscribe on the YouTube channel. Yep. Subscribe. Babe, let's do something really goofy. Let's kiss on the screen.
Really?
Yeah. No, you're too far. It was close. It was close. All right, guys. Have a great weekend. We'll see you later. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.